wanna take it slow. Just wanna let you know. Ready to spend some time.
KSquad, what's up? Thanks so much for tuning into another video. If you're new here, I'm Kara from K's Ways, where I like to inspire you to do it your way. And in today's video, I wanted to come back, share some updates with you guys. It's been a minute since I updated you guys. I just keep holding and holding and holding. But I thought it was a good time for me to sit down, go through my box. Let me tell you, I keep a box of goodies here on my desk, and this is what I basically reach for. It's kind of like a shop my stash situation. And I actually do want to shop my stash. You know, the 4 months are coming up, but before I do that, I thought it would be a good time to go through everything in this box and share my thoughts with a lot of the products that I purchased throughout the last couple of months. If you're looking for more updates, I will put a playlist at the end of the video for you guys to check out, because I do tons of reviews here on the channel, whether it's like an initial first impressions or something like that. I do still try to come back and do like these kind of roundups so you guys can get like a definitive answer, like do I or do I not like these products, because sometimes everything doesn't work out, which you will see. There's going to be products outside of this box that I'm also going to include in this video, because everything can't fit in here. But like I said, I do want to put this stuff back into my collection and start shopping my stash for the fall. So before we do that, I wanted to share with you guys my thoughts on these products. So if you love speed reviews, you love beauty videos, you love hauls, demos, reviews, all that kind of stuff, I would love if you consider subscribing to my channel. But let's start off with this Gucci, Lord, I don't even know the name of it. This is like their liquid lipstick that they came up with, and the one that I have on my lips today is in the shade Mildred Rosewood. My problem with these Gucci lipsticks is not the fact that it's expensive. It's Gucci, of course it's gonna be pricey, but I don't think it's worth the money, because it's like, I don't know if y'all can see, but it's like almost, it's not super pigmented, it's not opaque. So it just gives you like a nice little hint and wash of color. I bought 2 shades of this at the time. So the orangey shade, first of all, it's not even orange, it comes out more as red, but I thought it was going to be more on the orangey side. This is the shade Lily Tiger, so that's what that one looks like there. And yeah, it is a pretty color, but it has the same problem with the opacity. Like, it's not a super opaque kind of shade. So for me, I'm always going to want to top it with like something just to bring out the color a little bit more. I'll swatch the Mildred Rosewood one as well. But you can see that's the one that I have on my lips, is Mildred Rosewood. Do I think they're worth the money? No. I absolutely love the Gucci bullet lipsticks, and if you're gonna invest your money in a Gucci lip product, I would consider the Gucci bullet lipsticks. I showed you guys in my last haul, I finally got my hands on Agatha Orange. I've really been enjoying that. I love the 2 nude shades that I had in my collection already. So I recommend the Gucci bullet lipsticks over these liquid lipsticks, because this is just not the move. And with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pop on a little bit of Fenty Gloss Bomb, because I need some. I just wasn't feeling it. But I did want you guys to see how it looked by itself. Now let's move on. I'm not going in any particular order. I'm honestly just reaching in and I want to clear up this box. So y'all remember when Fenty released these things? These are the Fenty Toasted Swirl Bronze Shimmer Powders. So I have both of these on my face today. Chocolate Swirler. I actually have a video, so I'm not going to swatch these. I have a Reels video, so I'll link it up in the card so you can check it out. You'll see like heavy swatches and how they look on my skin. I like to use both of them. When I actually do use these, I like to use both of them together. I would use Chocolate Swirler more in my bronze area, and then I would use the Pecan. I did not drop this, guys, and it just broke, and I heard so many people complain about the fact that theirs came broken. This was the first time that I opened it. It wasn't even broken when I applied it earlier, so I don't know what happened in between earlier and now, but I'm a little annoyed with that, number one. And I know a lot of people were annoyed when they got their packages and seeing that their thing came broken. Not only that, is you can see how big the compact is and how little product you actually get. It says that there is 12 grams of product, but then again, highlight is something that you don't go through too often, but I'm a little annoyed that that just broke. So that's number one. Now, but this Pecan Swirler, it is more of a highlighting shade for me, so that is the highlighted shade that I have on my face that you guys can see there. It's a nice product, nothing to write home about. This is not nothing that I would say, oh, you must go get this. Like I said, it gives me a nice little warmth to the face. It adds that highlight and the shine. It may be a little bit too much because I always have to go back. Like, I can see in the mirror that I have in front of me, I can see like that shine. That gold is like something serious. This was perfect for the summertime. Like, if I was doing like a simple quick look, it's not like a super heavy bronzer. This gives me like just enough of the bronzing that warms my skin, and then like I said, this one acts as a highlighting shade. I am happy that I do have both of these in my collection. I would reach into these like more than I thought I would, honestly. I did reach for them, so I made use out of it, but I wouldn't say that it's necessarily something that you have to run and go get. If it's not a must-have, but I'm definitely satisfied with my purchase on that end. Oh, speaking of glitter, even though the Fenty, it is a little bit of sparkle, I think it's just the gold shine that like kind of throws me off. But when you talk about glitter and sparkle, this Chanel Rev de Camellia illuminating powder, when I tell you, I bought it more for the packaging because, you know, look at the flower, it is just so pretty. So I really wanted it. But when I tell you, like, anytime that I wear this, and you know, the car mirror tells no lies. So when you look in the mirror in the car, I just see all types of like glitter particles that looks like a freaking disco ball on my face. That's what this Chanel powder is doing for me. So even when I try to be a little bit more precise with it and I try to use it as a highlighter, yeah, it's a pretty highlighter. But then again, I look into the car mirror and I see the sparkles in it. So I'm not one that necessarily likes those glitter particles on my face. Even though I love a good shine, I don't like glitter. So that is my issue when it comes to this Chanel illuminating powder. In my best of 22 video so far, I did mention my beloved blush. I think it's called Brun Rossi. I had to actually put that in the drawer because I think I was making myself sick of that blush, because I would always reach for it all the time, which is still a favorite. I bought that at the same time that I bought this highlighting powder, but being that I only updated you on the blush, I definitely wanted to share my feelings about this highlighting powder with you guys. And there is a highlighter from Chanel that I am interested in picking up, and I'm hoping I have better luck with that one. Can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll have everything that I talk about, even if I don't show it. If I talk about it, I'm gonna have it listed and linked down in the description box below so you guys can check it out and follow along with what's going on if you want to know more information. Just know that those links that I do provide in my description box are affiliate links, which means if you do go ahead and you check out and purchase through those links, I will make a small commission. It doesn't add like a cost to your purchase or anything like that. I just get a kickback for putting y'all on. So I want to give you guys a shout out because I see a lot of you guys using my links. I really, really, truly appreciate you guys, because that money, it all gets recycled back into this channel. Because everything that I purchased, like, I just recently started getting PR again, but I would say 95% of the things that I show you guys, I purchased with my own money. So like I said, that little bit of kickback that we get from purchasing through my links, it goes right back into the channel. So I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys. I see you and I appreciate you. And when I say I see you, it's not like I know exactly who's doing it, but I do appreciate whoever it is, whoever actually clicks on my videos, watches my videos, likes my videos, comments, whatever you guys do. You know, I really, really appreciate every little piece of engagement and kind of support you guys give me. It is truly appreciated. Oh, okay, I don't even think I got to talk about this because I might have talked your head off about this one as well. This is the NYX Wonder Stick, and it's a dual-ended face shaping stick. Mine is in the shade Deep, and you guys know I use this more for the contour side. Guys, like, it is so fast. I just draw my little lines and it's so easy to blend out. Like, I don't have any issues with this. I have no complaints about this. You guys know I've been using this like crazy. I don't necessarily go for the second side of this product, which is a highlighting stick. I mean, I can, but it's a little golden, and I'm not like that golden highlight kind of girl. It actually gives me the vibes of the Fenty Pecan Swirl. Now that I blend it out and actually see it, it's giving me that vibe. I bought it knowing that I was buying it for the contour side, and that's basically what I reach for. I'm not going to go too much into that. Something else from the drugstore that I started adding back into my rotation. This is the CoverGirl Priming Glow Mist. This is an 8-hour hydration, true clean cactus water, rose water, vitamin C, and this is made for all skin types. I'm like halfway through the bottle at this point, and it's just a nice mist which gives me a little bit of hydration. As far as the whole 8-hour hydration claim, I can't vouch for that. I don't think it gives me that much hydration. Like, when I use my Peach and Lily, like, I feel like that's just like a calming, refreshing mist. And it could be just a mister, because you can see, like, the way I just sprayed this is just like a little bit, I wouldn't call this an aggressive spray at all. I would just say it's a little bit like potent. It's like a little bit more concentrated. You can still see the water on my skin right now after I did that. So the Peach and Lily one that I used, that I featured in the Best of 22 video, a lot of my favorites is in that video. That's why I'm going to keep referencing that one. But this one is pretty nice. It gives me more of like that synthetic calming kind of smell, like synthetic rose water kind of situation, because, you know, there's a nice little ingredient listing back here, so I'm pretty sure it's not just rose water. It's a whole lot of different ingredients in here going on, but it's nothing that's like alcohol feeling. It doesn't feel drying on the skin. But as far as the 8-hour hydration, I don't think it gives me like 8-hour hydration. I just think it adds like a nice little refreshing mist. This is something that I actually, okay, it's something that I actually wouldn't mind actually keeping in my bag and carrying that around with me, more for like an everyday kind of mist to have on the go, rather than, you know, that big old heavy peach and lily, because that's a little bit more heavy, a little bit more luxurious. In here I have the Dior Backstage. This is their Coral Neutrals palette. I did a whole video featuring this along with a couple of other of my favorite Dior products. In that video I did swatch each shade on my eye, and this first shade here is a primer, so I do show you swatches on each eye, one without the primer and one with the primer. First of all, the primer, it makes no sense to me because it's not really priming anything for me. I found that like the majority of the shades that I put on top of the primer actually look better without the primer, or I would use my own primer with it. The only gripe I have about this palette is like, I feel like no matter what I do, any kind of look that I do, this tangerine shade, I don't know, it just overpowers my whole look. So anytime I use that tangerine shade, I feel like the whole thing just looks tangerine at that point. I did go into this palette a couple more times after shooting that video, and I do like the looks that I get. I like the sophistication of the eyeshadows. They're nice and soft, they are pigmented, they show up on me with no problem. So I am actually interested in picking up more of the coral neutral, well, not coral neutrals, I'm interested in picking up more of the Dior Backstage palettes. I know for holiday 2022 they're going to be coming out with a green palette, and they're going to be coming out with like a cranberry looking palette, so I am interested in both of them. I don't know if I'm going to get both of them, but I definitely am interested in that, along with like, I think it's Amber Neutrals is one of the palettes that they already have on the market. So I definitely do want to try more, but again, I just feel like a lot of the looks that you get with these palettes, they just become looking, you know, they turn out looking pretty much the same. It's a coral palette, so you're basically gonna get like a coral eye, so don't expect too much versatility from it. Funny, because even Chloe was like, oh, you did that eyeshadow before, and it was totally a different, I used totally different eyeshadows. I think that's when I did go into the bronzies, but I had added that tangerine and it just took over everything and just made this like a big coral palette. So that's my only con with this palette, but I do enjoy the formula, and well, I'm interested in buying more. So that tells you it's not money wasted for me. If I'm looking for coral, your girl got it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame. This is one of her eyes to mesmerize. This is like the cream shadow in the pot. I did use this one day. I had just put, as a matter of fact, I used my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, which I don't even think I gotta tell y'all, I love this so much. I think, what's this from last year? I think this is a product from last year, but I still have it in my box because this is like one of my favorite bronzers. So I put this in my crease, and then I went on top of my lid with this Eyes to Mesmerize shade. So easy, one and done, quick eyeshadow look. I really enjoyed this. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of this shade on my eyes. I do want to look into getting more different shades because she has these Eyes to Mesmerize cream shadows in different shades. The only reason why I'm hesitant with that is because I don't always reach for these kind of products. Like, I'm not like necessarily like a super cream eyeshadow kind of girl, but for like that quick, sophisticated, elegant kind of look, I think this does come in handy. So there's a time and a place for it. Do I want to spend my money on it? We'll see. I don't think I'm going to be running to do it. Like, I'm not going to buy it during the VIP sale or nothing like that, but I am interested in trying out more of these, and I'm happy that I got to try out the formula. And like I said, it was like quick, simple eye look that I achieved with this one product. So that's what makes me consider to buy more of it. Speaking of Charlotte Tilbury, I did buy the number 2. This is her, what is it, the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I love this powder. I love number 2. I actually put it on my eyes underneath because I was having some super issues up under here. Oh, as a matter of fact, y'all probably like, why she got on this color, all these colors on her eyes. I did do a video featuring the Sydney Grace and Fancy Face Trappy Color Palette. I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek, but that's what the palette looks like in there. If you saw my last haul video, you did see me unbox this. So today I was able to actually sit down, do these 2 eye looks, and share some swatches and stuff with you guys. So if that video is up, I'm gonna link it up in the cards, or if it's not up, make sure you subscribe and you have your notification bell on so you guys can see when that video comes out. You'll be seeing we put these 2 looks together as well as some swatches of the whole entire palette. But going back into this, like I said, I had a mishap with this left eye here. I poked myself in the eye. It was watering for days. So to clean it up and add some brightness, I went underneath with this number 2 powder. I know she just recently came out with like a brightening powder, but I don't think I'm going to get the brightening powder because I got number 2. I have number 3 in the full size compact because I use that for all over my face. But number 2 works perfectly fine for brightening up underneath my eyes, so I don't see a need for getting that new powder. But if you are looking for brightness underneath your eyes, check out her new product. If you already have the Airbrush Flawless finishing powder and you have multiple shades like me, I'd say you don't have to run out and go get a brightening powder, especially if this is doing the brightening for you. That's how I feel about it. So that's that. This powder is like classic OG product. I hit pan on my full size one, the number 3 that I use all over my face, and I'm starting to see a nice little dent in this number 2 as well, because I reach for it. I just take like a nice little fluffy brush and go up underneath, and I am good to go. And that's one thing about Charlotte Tilbury products, which is why I've been buying a lot of her products as of lately, is because I just find that they're simple to use. Like, she takes the guesswork out of it. Everything just looks so smooth and simple and elegant, and you don't have to do too much to get there, you know, to achieve that look. So that's why I absolutely love Charlotte Tilbury. Another powder that I used up underneath my eyes today. Sometimes I forget that I have this because I don't like the packaging of this. Granted, it's my fault. I don't know, me and these minis, we haven't been operating real well. If y'all recall, I was hating on the Benefit, what is this? The Gimme Brow Volumizer Pencil. I was hating on this, the fact that it don't have a spoolie, but I bought a mini, so it don't have a spoolie. And same thing with this. Like, I think it's cute that you have your little powder puff and everything, but I'm not gonna use this puff. What I did today was use my eyelash tray. I dumped some of the powder out and I got the powder on my sponge from here. But what if I don't have something to actually dump this powder out? So that's why I'm not really digging this mini. As far as the powder goes, I find underneath my eyes it's just a little bit too mattifying. The shade that I have here is Kunafa, so it does add like that yellow brightness underneath my eyes. A lot of that yellow that y'all see, I wouldn't blame it on Charlotte Tilbury. That's all from here because I packed on a whole lot of that powder. I told you my eyes was tearing, so I packed on a whole lot of that powder to try to like just make a barrier so that the tears didn't run down here. But every time I use this, I do find like my eyes are just like, underneath my eyes is just like a little bit more dry than I would prefer them to be. In that respect, I am happy that I did purchase a mini of the powder, because if I had a full size of the powder and it was a little bit more mattifying to me, I feel like I wouldn't necessarily run through the whole thing. Having a mini is helpful, but most of the time I don't even remember to reach for this because I'm constantly using my Say powder, which I don't think I have to talk to you guys about this, because I have been wearing this powder out ever since I tried it early in the year. That's basically the only powder that I use underneath my eyes these days is this Say powder. So yes to this. If you need, like, if you're an oily girl, you probably would love this Huda Beauty powder, but me as a dry skin girl, it just doesn't, it's just not giving what it's supposed to give for me, okay? So as a dry skin girl, I would say yes to Say and nay to Huda. Now I bust out my Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. Yeah, this was all the rage at the end of last year, but who talked about it since then? Well, I'm gonna talk about it since then, okay? Because I'm gonna tell y'all, I used this palette when I went to the wedding a couple of weeks back, and when I tell you, this just does everything I needed to do. I was kind of in a rush. This had everything I needed in one palette. It really just covered it, and then it gives you, it's called a Glam Face Palette, and that's the kind of look you get. With these 5 eyeshadows, that's all you need to achieve a nice sultry glam kind of look. Like these metallic shades here, this one here is called outer corner and inner corner. Like those shades are everything. I think they are so pretty. It's like bronzy and gold and sophisticated. Like, I don't know, I just love this palette. I actually did feature this in my best of 2021 video that I did, and I had to bust this out again because there's no reason why I love this palette so much and for it to be sitting up in the drawer. So I just wanted to reiterate that this palette is bomb. With the fall coming up, you may want to bust this out if you have it in your collection already. I'm not sure, do they still sell this palette? Because if they do, It'll be linked down below as everything else will be, but if you don't have it already, I highly recommend that you get it because this is like a perfect travel companion. You have a nice blush, you have a highlighter, but the star of this is just really those 5 eyeshadows. I absolutely love this palette. For foundation, I actually have 2 different foundations on my face today. On this side, I have on the Nyx Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. This one is in the shade 19. And then on my left side, I have on my Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear Care and Glow Foundation. First of all, I wanted to put them side by side because I really can't tell the difference. I feel like these do the same thing, and that's why I love both of them. They're both long wearing foundations. They're both, I wouldn't say transfer proof, but pretty much transfer resistant kind of foundations. So once you put them on, I don't feel them like slipping and sliding all around the place. They dry down a little bit matte, but they still give me that radiance. They still give me that glow. My face doesn't look flat. Like, these foundations are everything. And as a matter of fact, in my cart right now at Sephora, I actually have a different shade of this. This shade is going to be a little bit too deep for me come fall when we, you know, when I start losing my summer tan and everything. And I'm kind of considering taking this 510 neutral back to Sephora and getting a different shade, getting maybe like a shade or 2 up, because I want to be able to wear it within these next couple of months as well. I don't want these to only be summer foundations, but I have them on both sides of my face, and you really cannot tell the difference that I have on 2 different foundations. So these are my kind of foundations. I love a foundation that's not sucking the life out of me matte, but at the same time gives me that kind of radiance, that glow that makes my skin look nice and healthy. So these are definitely winners in my book. I started using my Dior Backstage Face and Body no powder. I started using the shade 6 again. I don't even want to open 5 because I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's all crumbly in there. Like, I broke up, I went in one day and it started crumbling on me. So that's another thing. Like, when I get Dior products shipped to me, it's always like a nerve-wracking kind of situation because you don't know if it's gonna come broken. Number 6, I'm basically hitting pan on because I had this one first, then I went and bought 5 because it's like the same situation. Like, going from summer to fall, I'm usually a little bit darker in the summertime, and then come fall and winter I become a little bit lighter. So my 5 neutral, and trust and believe, I'm gonna use this. Like, I'm not playing games. I'm definitely gonna use my powder, but for now I just been using my number 6. Still love it. Another product that I featured in last year's Best of Beauty 2021. Absolutely love this powder. It's one that I'm constantly reaching for when I'm looking for that finishing powder, just to buff everything and go over on my face, make everything look seamless. That is one of my go-to products. So that's something that I just continuously talk about here on my channel. This might have been part of my Best of Beauty 2021 as well. This is the Nars Orgasm on the Beach palette, and guys, they just recently came out with their holiday palette for 2022. I was thinking about getting it. I was actually going to place the order yesterday to get it because Sephora had like the first early access kind of situation on the app. I was going to get it, but then if you think about it, it's a limited edition kind of palette. So yeah, I'll use it all up until the holidays, maybe a month or 2 after the new year. But then will I reach for it again? Well, I mean, the answer is yes, because I definitely reached for this one, and this is a permanent product on the Nars website. They still have it available because I was just on Nars website yesterday, so I know that for a fact. I'll have it linked down below because I don't think this is on Sephora or anything like that. This one is just perfect. Like, you have these 2 highlighting shades. This one, though, to me is more of like a natural kind of blush, but these 3 down here, like, so pretty, these shades. Like, those blush shades are everything. Nars blushes are everything. Like, I've been rocking with Nars for years at this point. Like, when I first started getting into makeup, Nars was the one that had shades that actually suit my shade. So those beautiful blushes are part of this blush palette, and I reach into this so often. It's like that gelée kind of formula, so it doesn't look like it's like super used and worn in, and it's really good palette. It's a really good palette, guys. So I'm considering getting the full palette, but I'm not sure because, like I said, it's limited edition. How many blushes do I need? I kind of want them all. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. See, this is why I want to do a shop my style situation, because I have some blushes in here that are geared that I would only wear in the summertime. So the Papagraph Labs, this is her Skin Fetish Divine Blush. This one is an Electric Bloom. Guys, is that not everything? You guys know I love these blushes. There's always some color in my rotation here. So the next one here is Lovestruck, another one that would, for me, would be more geared towards the summer months. But then when I do like an everyday kind of blush, the one I have on my face today is Paradise Venus. This is a perfect everyday kind of blush that I absolutely love. I love all of the shades of the blush. I bought 7 out of 9 when she released these blushes. So when she came out with those duos, I was like, I have so many blushes, it didn't make sense. But then just yesterday, she released her promo of her Holiday 2022 collection. And guys, first of all, I want that mega palette. I'm kind of considering the little 5-pan palettes that she has. I want the highlighter. I don't think I'm going to get any of the blushes though, because I just told y'all I have 7 of her blushes. I think I'm good with that. Speaking of blushes, I'm really quickly going to touch base on this Gucci. This is the blush debutante, I guess. This is number 4, Au Coral. I did put this on top of the Pat McGrath blush. I wanted to see how it would layer on top of that, and especially with Pat McGrath blushes, because she actually makes them to be layered. I'm just gonna add a little bit more, because I think after all the buffing and wiping that I did, I may have like taken away some of it. I can see how they say it's a matte luminous blush, because yeah, it goes on the face stuff. It feels matte on the face, and I'm not talking about matte like suck my, you know, make my skin dry matte, but it just, you can tell it's a matte finish, but it still gives a glow. Like, there's something special about this blush. I know a lot of people felt a certain kind of way about these blushes, but I like them personally, and I like both colors that I picked up. I'm actually interested in the 3rd shade, but again, I've been talking to you about the Nars palette. I just recently ordered the Hourglass palette. Like, there's so many blushes that's coming out. Like, do I need another one? Do I need one blush for $50 where I can get a palette for $60, $70? Like, I don't know if the math is mathing with that one, if it makes sense for me, but it is tempting, I'll tell you that. Back to blush. Does anybody even talk about the Fenty cream blushes anymore? Let me tell you, I had to bust these out for the summer because I love this formula. So this one here is Summertime Wine, one of my favorites. I only have 2, so they're both my favorites, honestly. Summertime Wine is so pretty. Absolutely love that. Was definitely dipping into that over the summer. And then the one that is more neutral tone here is Rosé Latte. See, I don't know if you feel the vibe that I be going with. I have to get a neutral blush, and then I have to get something with a pop of color. That's how I get down. That's how I roll. Love those. Also in blush category, this is liquid blushes. This is from Rare Beauty. This one is in Joy, and this one is in Love. I love to ombre these. I love to add Love towards the back, and then I love to put Joy in the front. Ombre them so it gives you like that two-tone effect. So pretty. Absolutely love these. The staying power on these are bomb. They won't move. They'll be on my face all day with no issues. And I seen that for holidays, Rare Beauty came out with a set with 3 of them. When I bought these, I bought this in a set with like a lip product that I did not like, and I can't remember what the 4th thing was in the collection, but I'm really a fan of Rare Beauty. I like their mascara. I finally found it again, and it's not dried out, so I've been using that. Like this, the way this lengthens and adds volume to my lashes is really, really good, and it's only like $20 for this mascara. So that is a mascara I would recommend buying from Sephora, along with the eyeshadow primer. You guys see me every time I do eyeshadow, this is the primer that I'm using. I really, really enjoy this primer. It just adds like a nice clean canvas base for my lashes, for my eyeshadows. Really, really nice. Enjoying that. When doing my brows, I went back to using my Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Guys, soft matte is right. Like, it is so soft when you put it on. Like, you barely need to touch underneath the eyes, and everything is just so clean and crisp. I use it to clean up underneath my brows. I don't necessarily use it like on my face, but if I need to spot conceal, this will come in handy for that as well. But I personally just use it more for cleaning up underneath my brows. Y'all see the crispiness under there. Like, it's just so clean. Well, maybe not so much this one, because I went in with that coconut shade as a brow bone color. Watch that other video, guys. Back to bronzer. I have a couple of bronzers in here. So you guys know I've been testing out the L'Oreal Infallible Bronzer. This is the bronzer that it came out with. I have 2 shades. I have the shade Dark, and then I have the shade Deep Dark. I actually like both of the shades. They both work for me. So I'm not mad at these at all. And it's good to have a drugstore bronzer. You guys know the bronzer struggle. The bronzer game just got good for us. Like, over the years, I don't know if y'all seen my bronzer declutter that I did earlier this year, but a lot of the bronzers that I ended up getting rid of, I realized they wasn't really bronzers for me. So I'm so happy that we have options now. This is a nice formula. I don't find it to be as drying as the 24-hour, the powder that L'Oreal had. That was a little bit drying for me, but I don't have any issues with these bronzers. They go on really smoothly. I have no complaints. So these are really nice bronzers, and I will definitely, that will probably stay in my box because I want to continue to use those. Another bronzer I think I talked your head off about is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the cream bronzer. Absolutely love that. I'm still using that. And that I featured in my Best of 22, along with the cream bronzer that I have on my face today. So this one, the cream bronzer that I use today is Laguna 04 from Nars. Another one that I absolutely love. It gives me like the beautiful sun-kissed glow, and it really doesn't take a lot of product to make it build up. Like, I love the fact that they expanded the shade ranges, but there's like a bronzer for everybody in this range. I think there's 5 shades altogether, maybe 6 shades altogether in this line, and I think it'll be something for everybody. So I absolutely love this one. I think I may have featured that in the Best of 22 as well, so I'm not going to delve too much into it. But with the influx of bronzers that have been coming out, I purchased this one last year and I was so highly impressed with it, but I'm not so much impressed anymore because when it comes to this color, they actually released another color this year, which is medium, which would be a shade lighter than this one. I want them to come out with some more deeper shades. So this is the Chanel Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. Mine is in the shade Soleil Tan Deep Bronze, and I'm gonna swatch it there. You see how it's like so subtle of a color? So I was so infatuated with this last year, and now that I have so many different choices for a cream bronzer, I'm not as infatuated with it anymore. To me, it's such a natural bronzer, so there are days for that. I do like to have different variations of bronzers in my collection, so I personally am not mad that I have this, but I do want to make y'all aware of how far we've come along in the bronzing game. There's so many different varieties, so many different tones of bronzers. Like, we've come really far in the bronzing game, so you don't have to run out and spend what, $60 for a Chanel bronzer when there's other companies that's doing it for like $25. So that's what I mean to say that I don't necessarily regret buying it, but I just want to let you guys know that there are options out here. Now that I just bashed Chanel, I do want to talk about a good product from Chanel. This is the Natural Finish Loose Powder. This one is in the shade 121. This powder is everything. Now, I just told you guys about the under eye powder. I don't necessarily prefer a matte powder underneath my eyes, but something for all over the face. This one is matte. Like, this is matte, but it's not gonna suck the life out of my face. I just think it adds like the prettiest finish. I can definitely get away with using this as a finishing powder as well, which I have done. And sometimes I just feel like I just need to dull down that shine, and that's when I reach for this powder. I love this powder. It is so soft. Again, it doesn't dry my face out where I feel like, oh, it's sucking the life out of my face. Oh, so it's a natural finish loose powder. To me, it's a little bit more matte, but not super duper matte, if you know what I mean. So this is a nice product from Chanel that I have really been enjoying. I'm going to talk about some concealers now. I have this NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. If you saw my Get Ready With Me drugstore video that I did maybe like a month or 2 ago, you saw me swatch all 3 of them. I put all 3 of them on my face for you guys to see, but I really enjoy this. Now, they say it's a concealer serum. When I think of a serum, I think of something a little bit more thin of a texture. These are kind of thick, if you ask me. So I wouldn't say it's a serum concealer. Like, when I think of serum concealer, I think of like the fluidity that the LYS has. Like, that's nice and smooth and fluid, where this one is just a little bit more thick, but nonetheless, it is still a nice concealer. I don't find that it gets too heavy or crepey underneath my eyes. So this is one that I've been really enjoying. It gives nice coverage, but when it comes to coverage, when I tell you I want coverage, I reach for these. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. These are so good, guys. So I have 2 shades of this. I have the shade 460 and then I have the shade 500. These are so smooth under the skin. I don't find like anything like settles into my fine lines or anything like that. So it's super smooth, gives me just the right amount of coverage without it being too heavy or cakey or anything like that. So these are really good concealers, guys. And that has been in my rotation. Has it been a year? These came out last year, right? I think these came out last year. So almost a year that those have been in my rotation. I still constantly reach for those. So you know it's that good. I've tried so many different concealers since then. Like, I still reach for my ABH one, but this one is a little bit more thicker. I wouldn't say cakey, but it is a little bit more thicker, a little bit more heavy, but it still has really good coverage. The KVD Good Apple Concealer, not the best coverage. I mean, it's decent, but it's not the best coverage. So it's okay. But when it comes to those Lancome concealers, those are a go-to. I absolutely love it. And then when I mix the Lancome concealer with the Lancome foundation, yeah, my face is so flawless. And I don't even like have to blend it all out. Like I'll put the concealer, then I'll go and blend out my foundation and blend out the concealer at the same time. Yeah, it is everything. When I tell you that it's everything, that is the perfect combination. I absolutely love Lancome base products. I love it. I feel like there are so much more products that I need to update with you guys on, and if you have any questions about a particular product, leave it down below, because I will be doing another round of speed reviews. You know, the Sephora VIP sale should be coming towards the end of next month. So if there's any products that you want me to update you on, if you want me to come back and talk to you about a particular product that you may have seen me purchase but that I didn't show that much love here on my channel, and you want to know my thoughts on it, let me know, and I'll definitely get back to you guys. But the last product that I want to talk to you guys about is this Hourglass Ambient Lighten Volume 3 palette. Now, it took me a minute to buy this one, guys, because, you know, I was a little saucy with Hourglass. Like, I've been rocking with Hourglass for years at this point. I bought the first volume ambient palette that they had when there was only one choice. But finally, they came out with a Volume 3 palette, and this was made specifically for us deeper girls in mind. You have the Eternal Light, which is more of a finishing powder. This I use as a finishing powder. So we have that. Then in the middle here we have Transdescent Light, which I use more as a bronzer. And then this last one here is one of the strobe lights. This is the Prismatic Strobe Light, which is a highlighter. And guys, y'all see those swatches? Like, so pretty, guys. This is so pretty. And I'm not even one that necessarily wants to wear a gold highlighter all the time, but when I'm in a rush, like if I'm getting ready for work or something, I can just pick up this palette, do all three things that I need to do really quickly with this one palette, and just call it a day. The look is beautiful. It gives a beautiful finish. The ambient powders, like, they just catch the light in just like a beautiful way. So like, I'm highly impressed with this palette. Absolutely love it. So much so that I actually purchased one of their holiday palettes. I'm waiting for that to ship. So I lied, there is another blush in here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is Pillow Talk Intense. Another blush that's a go-to color for me when it's just like an everyday kind of situation. You don't know what color to put on. Pillow Talk Intense will have you covered, guys. So that's one of my faves. I need to put this stuff up though. Another favorite, I think that's how to talking about this, which I'm only going to talk about it briefly because this is a discontinued palette. But this is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in Copper Gold, and I absolutely love these. And again, two of my things are falling out, so you gotta be careful when it comes to the Dior's Backstage palette. But speaking of Dior, I also have my Dior bronzer in here. This one is in the shade 08 Deep Bronze, one of my go-tos, and you can see that in action in that Coral Neutrals video that I did, because I featured a lot of my Dior favorites in that video, so check it out if you're interested. So let me tell you how I've been using the heck out of this Mented Brow Dow Pencil. Like, guys, I recently finished up another one of my Benefit Precisely My Brows, so I went back to something. I wanted to like switch it up a little bit and get more use out of products that's in my collection that I don't show love to, and I'm so happy that I pulled this one out. Such a nice brow product, guys. So Mented is available at Target. I ordered mine off of the Mented website, but being that I'm going to be doing my full box, trust and believe you will be seeing the two Mented blushes, because I have two blushes from Mented that I love, that I like to wear in the fall time. So stay tuned. I will be doing a Shop My Stash video really soon. If you like these kind of speed reviews and you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. KSquad, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and pop up some videos here on the screen for you guys to check out, just in case you missed a couple of recent uploads. Or if you're new, you can click my face here, join the KSquad. We would love to have you, and I hope to catch each and every one of you on the next video. Until next time, y'all, stay blessed. Later, guys.